Chipotle Nationals invades Hamilton Southeastern High School in Indy, April 2nd through the 5th. And joining us right now is the star of the number 7 seeded Montverde Eagles, Trent Sisley. Trent, what's going on, my man?
Not much. Just finished up with practice.
Okay, grinding. I like that. Definitely like that. You're gonna need that next week. But first, before we even get into that, I gotta back up because the biggest storyline, well, one of the biggest storylines, I shouldn't say that, headed into Chipotle Nationals for you guys at least, is that Coach Kevin Boyle will not be on the sidelines, headed off to Spire Academy in Ohio to take that head coaching job. I mean, the question is obvious. How are you guys dealing with that? He's been your coach all year. I know it's your first year at Montverde, but I'm sure you came there. You know, we talked in the preseason. You came there largely to be under his tutelage, and just talk about that. How has that impacted the team heading into such a big event with such big stakes on the line?
Yeah, it was obviously a little bit unexpected. Kind of shocked the whole, high school basketball world. But I think at the end of the day, it's brought us closer. The group, the team has been. We've all gotten a little bit closer since. I think it's kind of forced us to. And then obviously Chipotle is coming up, so that it's obviously the toughest tournament to win. So we got to come together, and I think that's what it's done is make us come together.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I want you to expound on that. Like, talk to me about take me in the locker room, take me in the dorm rooms. What is that conversation like with you and your teammates? Is it like, hey guys, look, it is what it is. Let's rally together. What are y'all saying? What talk to me? Put us in that.
Yeah, pretty much that. For a
Yeah.
lot of us, a lot of our rotation is seniors. We got five seniors, so for us, it's our last run. Like it's over in a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it is. Win or lose. So we're gonna be there. We put ourselves in the position to make Chipotle. We made it. We're in first round playing game. So just trying to get hot. Make a run at the right time.
Definitely. You guys are the number 7 seed, but you're also the reigning national champs, and you're also Montverde. So and we talked about this in the preseason. It doesn't matter. You're Montverde. People are just licking their chops, right? It's like the Duke effect, right? They're just licking their chops to play Montverde. They want to knock y'all off so bad. Everybody has that when they play against y'all. It's just a jersey thing. Then you're the reigning national champs. I mean, they want it bad. Talk to me about how do you combat that and what do you talk about with your teammates knowing that going into it?
Yeah, it's been like that all year just because
Yeah.
the alumni and, like you said, the name of the jersey. So, we just gotta, play hard, really just stick together, just be us, and then, try and get it done. And, coming up here on April 2nd to the 5th.
Yeah. Now you guys obviously had a strong season. You made the tournament, right? But in the last 3 games, you dropped the last three. Obviously didn't end the way you wanted to, a dub, right? But just talk about what specifically do you guys have to do better? What are you working on? What are you tweaking that you have to do better on the court?
Yeah, I think it just starts, defensively, just being more connected, and then offensively, just getting the ball moving a little bit better, stuff like that. And then at the end of the day, you just got to make shots, get a little bit more, points on the board. That obviously helps. And then just defensively, like I said, everyone just locking in, turning it up a notch for the postseason here.
Yeah. Yeah, you have extra incentive because about an hour away, maybe a little over an hour,
Yeah.
is where you'll be going to school, Indiana University. Maybe some people have heard of it, right? So how much motivation, how much excitement do you have to go down there and play in front of the IU fans? I mean, the fan base is next to none. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Absolutely. They're always showing love on social media all the time, not just to me, but, a lot of recruits. And then early in the year, we were up in LaPorte, which, is even farther away
Yeah.
from Bloomington. And there were still a lot of IU people, a lot of Indiana people there. So it'll be super fun, to be at HSC and, play these games back home a little bit. It'll be super fun.
Obviously, new coach Darren DeVries there at IU. Talk to me about how you guys have bonded. How have you guys built those bonds? And are you excited to grow your relationship with him? How's that going?
Yeah, it's been good. It got announced. I forgot what day it was now, but he called me about 30, 25, 30 minutes after he got the job, just wanted to make sure I was still a priority for him. So, that was always really good to hear. And then, just, kept in constant contact with him. And then start, obviously, like you said, trying to build that relationship. My parents went up to see him today, actually. So it's been good.
Yeah. So IU nearly made the NCAA tournament. I'm sure you because you're dialed in like that. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Nearly made it. And a lot of people feel like they should have made it over maybe a team that we won't name, right? Right. So that they didn't make it. I'm curious as a signee, as Darren Peterson, the same question. How connected are you as a signee to Indiana? How much of a Hoosier are you? Or like, did you look at that and you're like, oh, this is an injustice. I'm mad. We didn't make the tournament. I'm motivated by that. How interconnected are you already? Did that motivate you, knowing that
Yeah,
future team?
for sure. We got a lot of, good history at Indiana.
Yeah.
Five national championships.
Oh yeah.
So, I feel like we should be playing in March every year. So for that not to happen this year and, it kind of motivates you, going forward. And then me being from Indiana, just want to return Indiana to what it needs to be.
Absolutely. So Indiana's not in. So I know you can make a more objective, and I'm sure you would have had them maybe in the Final Four, maybe even going all the way. Right? We're not mad.
Yeah,
Not mad.
absolutely.
All right, but unfortunately they are not in. So I'm going to get your objective perspective now. Who do you have winning the big dance? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I got Florida this year. My
Okay,
boy
tell me
CJ
why.
Ingram, CJ
Okay.
Ingram going there next year.
Okay, your teammate.
And I just like the way they've been playing. They've been hooping. So
Okay. All right. So Florida's going to cut it down. Your guys' quest to cut it down starts April 2nd at Hamilton Southeastern. I definitely appreciate you, Trent, for joining us today. Thanks again, man.
yes, sir. Thanks for having me on.